Yeah, what I think the important thing to know right now about Dylan, because the difficulties in this relationship.
What happens when the music fades, but the memories remain? They've made history with their music, but what are they up to now? Join us as we reveal the surprising and often heartbreaking lives of 35 legendary musicians. 35. Bob Dylan.
He takes his time, doesn't live too fast. Troubles come, but they will pass.
Bob Dylan, born in 1941, is a singer-songwriter, musician, and artist whose influential career spans more than 6 decades. He is 83 now. He's one of those rare artists who has redefined the boundaries of popular music. Interestingly, Dylan has never had a #1 single under his own name. Like a Rolling Stone and Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35, peaked at number 2 on the Billboard charts in the mid-60s, never quite made it to the top spot. However, Dylan did write a #1 single. The Byrds cover of his song Mr. Tambourine Man topped the charts 1965. 34. Mick Jagger.
It's got to be outstanding so before you put it out, and I think we're all kind of happy and we're all kind of excited about it.
Next up is Mick Jagger, born in 1943. Join us as we uncover the fascinating life of Mick Jagger, the dynamic frontman of the Rolling Stones. Rock and roll spirit remains undiminished at 80. The lead singer and main lyricist of the Rolling Stones, Jagger has become one of the most iconic figures in rock music. Stones' music and Jagger's electrifying performances have captivated audiences for decades. However, Jagger's personal life has been filled with highs and lows. Known for his relationships with many beautiful women, Jagger experienced a profound personal tragedy with the death of his longtime partner, fashion designer Loren Scott. The couple had been together for 13 years, and her death in 2014 left Jagger devastated. 33. Paul McCartney.
And he used to say, "Obladi, oblada, life goes on, brah."
Paul McCartney, born in 1942, is one of the founding members of the Beatles, commercially successful band in the history of popular music. Celebrate Paul McCartney's timeless music at 81. McCartney's musical genius has left an indelible mark on the world. Life has not been without tragedy. In 1956, Paul's mother passed away from breast cancer, an event that deeply affected him and later inspired the Beatles song, Let It Be. This song became a beacon of hope and comfort for many. Unfortunately, breast cancer struck McCartney's life again when his wife Linda succumbed to the disease in 1998. 32. John Mayall. John Mayall, born on November 29, 1933, is an English blues and rock musician, songwriter, and producer. In the 1960s, he formed John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, a band that included some of the most famous blues and blues rock musicians. Discovered John Mayall's enduring blues legacy at 90. Mayall's influence on the blues genre is immense. In the late 1960s, he began living in the US part-time, eventually making it his full-time home by the early 1970s. However, Mayall faced a significant setback in 1979 when a brush fire destroyed his house in Laurel Canyon, California. The fire caused serious damage to his musical collections and archives, a devastating loss for any artist. 31. Smokey Robinson.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day.
Smokey Robinson, born in 1940, is an American singer, songwriter, record producer, and businessman. He covers Smokey Robinson's Motown magic at 84. He's known as the founder and lead singer of the Motown vocal group Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Contributions to music are immeasurable. However, Robinson's personal life has seen its share of struggles. In a recent interview with Vlad TV, Robinson revealed that he almost never drank alcohol, but initially cannabis was his drug of choice. He also acknowledged using cocaine at one point, shedding light on a part of his life that many may not have been aware of. 30. Dion Warwick.
When the world must come together as one.
Dion Warwick, born in 1940, is an American singer known for her soulful pop music, numerous hits during the 1960s and 1970s. Journey through Dion Warwick's soulful hits at 83. While Warwick has enjoyed immense success in her career, she has also faced her share of legal troubles. 2002, Warwick was arrested at Miami International Airport for possession of marijuana. Authorities discovered 11 suspected marijuana cigarettes hidden in a lipstick container inside her carry-on luggage. She was charged with possessing marijuana totaling less than 5 grams. Additionally, Warwick's name appeared on the top 250 delinquent taxpayers list in October 2007, highlighting her struggles with financial issues. 29. Martha Reeves. Martha Reeves, an American R&B and pop singer, is best known for being the lead singer of the Motown girl group Martha and the Vandells. Feel the power of Martha Reeves' Motown classics at 82. With over a dozen hit singles to her name, Reeves has made a significant impact on the music industry. However, her success has been accompanied by personal challenges. Reeves has spoken candidly about being offered drugs when she became well known, including instances of LSD being dropped into her champagne. Also faced struggles with addiction, recounting a harrowing experience where she ended up in a straitjacket in a facility after her doctors prescribed addictive drugs. 28. Willie Nelson.
It had to have been the 50s, maybe. I was a disc jockey and he...
Willie Nelson, born in 1933, is a country music legend known for his outlaw persona, distinctive voice, decades of hits. Brace Willie Nelson's outlaw spirit at 91. Despite his legendary status, Nelson's life has been marked by tragedy and legal troubles. Nelson has been arrested 4 times for drugs between 1974 and 2010, showcasing his struggles with substance abuse. Additionally, Christmas Day in 1991 marked one of the darkest moments in Nelson's life. 33-year-old son Billy, also a musician, was found dead in his Tennessee home. The tragedy of Billy's suicide deeply impacted Nelson. 27. Joan Baez. Joan Baez, born in 1941, is an American folk singer-songwriter, musician, activist, and actress, known for her captivating voice and unwavering commitment to social justice causes. Experience Joan Baez's folk music legacy at 83. While Baez's career has been celebrated for its influence on the folk music revival of the 1950s and 1960s, personal struggles often remained hidden from the public eye. In a revealing documentary, Baez bares her soul, sharing letters, sketches, pages from diaries, recordings of past therapy sessions, shedding light on her fragile mental health. Her struggles with anxiety attacks, sensitivity to the suffering of others, experiences of racism, repressed abuse are laid bare, offering a poignant glimpse into the depths of her soul. Additionally, the documentary highlights Baez's complex relationship with fame, portraying her addiction to adoration and adulation, which she admits to never being able to walk away from. 26. Brian Wilson.
Specialness of it is when it all comes together, all the various parts, and blending.
Brian Wilson, born in 1942, is an American singer, songwriter, record producer, and musician known as the co-founder of the Beach Boys. Explore Brian Wilson's Beach Boys genius at 81. Wilson's musical genius is undeniable, but behind his creative brilliance lies a tumultuous battle with mental illness. Diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, Wilson has grappled with auditory hallucinations since 1965, been manifesting as disembodied voices. Diagnosed with schizophrenia in 1984, doctors also discovered evidence of brain damage from prolonged drug use. Despite facing these challenges, Wilson's mental condition has shown signs of improvement over the years. Auditory hallucinations persist, particularly during performances. 25. Dyke Parks. Dyke Parks, born in 1943, is an American songwriter, record producer, arranger, musician, and singer for his collaborations with the Beach Boys and his eclectic musical style. Discover Dyke Parks' eclectic music at 81. While Parks' contributions to music are undeniable, career has been marked by physical challenges. 2014, Parks underwent hand surgery that was ultimately unsuccessful, causing his hands to freeze after short periods of piano playing. Setback forced Parks to confront the limitations of his own body, prompted him to announce his final piano performance in 2015. 24. Bobby Rush. Bobby Rush, an American blues musician, composer, and singer, carved a unique niche in the music industry with his eclectic style blending blues, rap, funk, and a touch of humor. Feel the blues with Bobby Rush at 90. Despite facing numerous hardships along the way, Rush's perseverance and talent have earned him recognition and accolades, including 12 Blues Music Awards and a Grammy Award for his album Porcupine Meat. Won at the age of 83 in 2017. However, behind the glitz and glamour of his successful career lies a tapestry of tragedies. He endured the heartbreak of losing 3 of his children to sickle cell anemia, devastating loss that left an indelible mark on his life. Additionally, he narrowly escaped death in a gas explosion at his barbecue restaurant, survived a tour bus crash in 2001 that claimed the life of one band member and left others severely injured. 23. Judy Collins. Judy Collins, born in 1939, an American singer and songwriter celebrated for her diverse musical repertoire, spanning folk, show tunes, pop, rock and roll, and standards. Enjoy Judy Collins' timeless folk melodies at 85. Collins achieved international fame with her rendition of Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now. Journey to success was fraught with personal struggles. Battling demons of alcoholism, drug abuse, bulimia, depression, and suicidal thoughts, Collins faced her darkest moments in the shadows of her burgeoning career. In 1992, tragedy struck when her son Clark took his own life at the age of 33, and Collins into profound grief. 22. Brenda Lee.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop.
Brenda Lee, renowned for her rockabilly and pop music during the 1950s, revealed a heartbreaking betrayal that took her to the core. Rock out with Brenda Lee's hits at 79. In 2023, Lee disclosed to the New York Times the profound impact of her manager, Dub Albritton, on her life. Albritton, with whom Lee trusted implicitly, had been diligently saving money for her future. However, tragedy struck when, on the verge of unveiling a substantial sum from a safe, Albritton unexpectedly passed away. She and her husband were left stunned to discover that all the money had vanished, behind financial ruin and a profound sense of betrayal. 21. Connie Francis.
How could 2 19-year-old people be so perceptive and know just what I wanted to say?
She is 86 now. Connie Francis, the American pop sensation of the late 1950s and early 1960s, had a series of harrowing experiences that tested her resilience and strength. Chilling incident at the Westbury Music Fair, Francis fell victim to a brutal assault, her traumatized and profoundly shaken. While appearing at the Westbury Music Fair in New York on November 8, 1974, Francis was raped and nearly suffocated under the weight of a heavy mattress the culprit had thrown upon her. The rapist was never found. In the years after the incident, Francis went into depression, taking as many as 50 Darvon pills a day and rarely leaving her home in Falls, New Jersey. Tragically, her struggles intensified when she underwent nasal surgery in 1977, resulting in a complete loss of her voice and a prolonged hiatus from her musical career. Agony deepened in 1981 when Francis suffered the devastating loss of her beloved brother, Frankie Jr., at the hands of mafia hitmen. Diagnosed with manic depression, Francis battled inner demons that led to multiple psychiatric hospitalizations, chilling suicide attempt in 1984. 20. Ronald Isley.
People went crazy over him, you know.
Ronald Isley, the lead singer and founding member of the Isley Brothers, faced a tumultuous chapter in his life, encountered legal troubles. Grooved to Ronald Isley's soulful tunes at 83. In 2006, Isley found himself embroiled in tax evasion charges, to a conviction that resulted in a 3-year and 1-month prison sentence. Despite his legendary status in the music industry, these financial woes were highlighted by his listing as one of California's most delinquent taxpayers, paying a staggering $303,411.43 back taxes. 19. Wanda Jackson. Wanda Jackson, hailed as the Queen of Rockabilly, grappled with personal and professional turmoil, navigated the highs and lows of her illustrious career. Fired up with Wanda Jackson's Rockabilly at 86. In 1971, Jackson found herself grappling with a profound sense of emptiness despite her outward success. Had everything that a person could need or want, but I still couldn't shake that dull but persistent sense of emptiness inside, candidly revealed. Tragically, Jackson's struggles extended beyond the confines of her professional life. She and her husband battled with alcoholism, leading to instances of physical and verbal abuse. 18. Frankie Valley. Frankie Valley is an American singer and actor known as the frontman of the Four Seasons beginning in 1960. Feel the magic of Frankie Valley's falsetto at 90. He is known for his unusually powerful tenor lead. 1960 was the year that he welcomed youngest daughter Francine Castelluccio with his first wife Mary Mandel. Like her father, she was an exceptional talent, blessed with a strong singing voice, on the brink of breaking into the industry. Sadly, she fell into the dark depths of drug use while pursuing her dream. Her tale came to a sharp and tragic end on August 16, 1980. She died from an overdose at the tender age of 20. Frankie has always firmly believed it to have been unintentional. In a further cruel twist, a devastating blow came just 6 months after the loss of his stepdaughter. Celia was just 2 years old when Mary wed Frankie, and he had raised her as one of his own. Early in 1980, locked out of her New York apartment, she had tried to get in via the fire escape, but slipped and fell to her death. Frankie and Mary parted ways in 1971, and he went on to marry and divorce twice more. Marital casualties pale against such devastation of losing a child. 17. Shirley Jones. Shirley Mae Jones is an American actress and singer. Discover the remarkable career of Shirley Jones, still captivating audiences at 90. 6 decades in show business, starred as wholesome characters in a number of musical films such as Oklahoma, Carousel, and The Music Man. Won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for playing a vengeful prostitute in Elmer Gantry. While Shirley's professional life blossomed, her personal life was like a yo-yo. Once she met Jack Cassidy, she became totally enchanted by him. The perfect example of the expression "love is blind." Put it mildly, Cassidy was a cad. Unfaithful, a neglectful father, did drugs and smoked and drank too much. Top it off, he was bipolar. Despite it all, Shirley put up with his philandering and outlandish behavior for 18 years. Simply couldn't resist his charms. Even after finally divorcing him, she admitted she would always love him. It seemed inevitable that Jack would meet a tragic end, and he did. fell asleep in his apartment while smoking a cigarette, and the resulting fire burned him beyond recognition. Then, Shirley had met her second husband, Marty Ingalls, but was still crushed by the news. 16. Brenda Holloway.
Yes, I got discouraged, but I kept on.
Brenda Holloway, American soul and Motown singer. Brenda Holloway rose to fame in the 1960s with a string of hits on the Motown label, including Every Little Bit Hurts and Operator Put Me Through. Explore Brenda Holloway's soulful Motown journey at 77. When it comes to Motown Records artists, there was definitely an A-list and a B-list. One Motown singer who was definitely on the B-list but probably deserved to be on the A-list, and who thought she belonged on the A-list, Brenda Holloway. And like some of those B-listers, she wasn't very happy with the way she was treated by the label. Time, blood, sweat, and tears provided Holloway with the success that had always eluded her, gone from Motown. She had written a letter to the powers that be claiming she had been ignored and pushed aside. She released only one album for the label, and a second effort never saw the light of day until 2005. 15. Sonny Rollins. Sonny Rollins, American jazz tenor saxophonist who is widely recognized as one of the most important, influential jazz musicians. 7-decade career, he has recorded over 60 albums as a leader. Into the jazz legacy of Sonny Rollins, still playing at 93. At the end of the 1940s, Rollins had an addiction he couldn't shake. He was a real junkie, one musician recalls. He was a bandit, and he even looked like one. His hair was gassed up and looked real greasy. Burned just about everybody he came in contact with. Heroin had him so desperate that if he got his hands on your instrument, end up in the pawn shop. Much of 1951, Rollins was in prison for attempted robbery. I was out there on Rikers Island, imprisoned among those criminals. I was disgusted with myself. Wasn't thinking about the time I was losing not practicing my horn, he told me. 14. Roberta Flack. Roberta Cleopatra Flack is a retired American singer who topped the Billboard charts with the #1 singles Time I Ever Saw Your Face, Killing Me Softly with His Song, and Feel Like Making Love. Reflect on the timeless music of Roberta Flack, even at 87. On November 14, 2022, it was announced by a spokesperson that Flack had been diagnosed with ALS, retired from performing due to the disease making it impossible to sing. 13. Sugar Pie DeSanto. Learn about Sugar Pie DeSanto's resilience, still shining bright at 88. Sugar Pie DeSanto is an African-American and Filipino-American rhythm and blues singer. Career in music flourished in the 1950s and 1960s. In 2006, she lost everything in an apartment blaze that killed her husband, the love of my life, 71-year-old R&B star says. C. Earl Davis was married to the singer twice over the course of a 27-year relationship. 12. Dion.
How are you? I feel good. A little tired. What, you been traveling since I saw you? Yeah, just...
Experienced the highs and lows of Dion's legendary career at 84. American singer-songwriter and guitarist. His music incorporates elements of doo-wop, pop, rock, R&B, folk, and blues. Heroin was part of Dion's youth, part of the neighborhood scene long before he became famous. Dion snorted heroin early and was shooting up prior to forming the Belmonts. In 1964, drugs had stopped Dion's career, halting all recordings and causing him to miss shows. One day, high on LSD while drinking scotch from a bottle, he decided to kill himself. Suddenly, he felt that God was telling him he had a reason to live. Dion checked himself into a hospital and beat heroin addiction, only to become an alcoholic. Moved to Miami, where he put his problems in God's hands and licked alcoholism. 11. Ringo Star.
Set this like battle scene with the press, not us.
Celebrate Ringo Starr's enduring impact on music at 83. Ringo Starr is an English musician, songwriter, and actor who achieved international fame as the drummer for the Beatles. Throughout the history of the Beatles, there's a through line of disrespect for Ringo Starr. He was only allowed to sing lead on 11 songs and write 2 unassisted, and he didn't even get to play on one of the group's earliest and biggest hits. I felt I wasn't playing great, and I also felt the other 3 were really happy, and I was an outsider, Starr said. Breakup of the Beatles in 1970 left Starr feeling absolutely lost, as he told People. Stress over an unsteady solo career in the years after left him with a serious drinking problem that only intensified. During 1970, the same year of the momentous Beatles split, Ringo Starr at least had something to celebrate in his personal life: the birth of his first daughter, Lee Starkey. After collapsing in a hospitalization in London, Starkey was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Concerningly, in 2001, according to the Boston Herald, the tumor returned and Starkey had to endure more medical treatments. 10. Grace Slick. Delve into Grace Slick's psychedelic legacy at 84. Grace Slick is a retired American musician and painter whose musical career spanned 4 decades. Prominent figure in San Francisco's psychedelic music scene during the mid-1960s to the early 1970s. Slick has publicly acknowledged her alcoholism and use of substances including LSD. She got the nickname the Acid Queen, and marijuana. Alcoholism became a problem for the band during Jefferson Starship's 1978 European tour. He was admitted to a detox facility at least twice, once during the 1970s at Duffy's in Napa Valley, once in the 1990s with daughter China. 9. Kristopherson.
They're the best part of my life.
Oh, that's great.
I got 3 of them are grown and out of.
Witness Kristopherson's resilience in the face of adversity at 87. Kristopherson is an American retired country singer, songwriter, and actor. Among his songwriting credits are Me and Bobby McGee, For the Good Times, Sunday Morning Comin' Down, Help Me Make It Through the Night, all of which were hits for other artists. 2013, doctors told the musician, songwriter, and actor Kristopherson the bad news. Believed he had Alzheimer's disease or a related form of dementia. Grammy winner, then in his 70s, had been having debilitating memory problems. Everyone thought it was Alzheimer's or dementia from old age. Doctors thought was dementia turned out to be the tick-borne bacterial illness Lyme disease. Kristopherson's medical treatment has reversed many of his symptoms. 8. Johnny Mathis. Appreciate Johnny Mathis's timeless melodies at 88. John Royce Mathis is an American singer of popular music. Starting his career with singles of standard music, Mathis became highly popular as an album artist. Several of his albums achieving gold or platinum status and 73 making the Billboard charts. November 2015, Mathis returned home from a concert in Ohio, his Hollywood house destroyed by a fire. January 17, 2023, a series of powerful storms drenched the hillside in front of his rebuilt home in Hollywood Hills, a collapse of the hillside and crushing a silver Jaguar with debris and mud. It remained unclear at the time of news reports exactly when Mathis, aged 87 and still performing concerts, was able to return and reoccupy his home, as its structural stability was uncertain and surrounding terrain damage. 7. Yoko Ono. Revisit Yoko Ono's groundbreaking artistry at 91. Yoko Ono is a Japanese multimedia artist, singer, songwriter, and peace activist. Her work also encompasses performance art and filmmaking. Ono grew up in Tokyo and moved to New York City in 1952 to join her family. Yoko Ono remains possibly the most misunderstood woman of modern times. For more than 50 years, Yoko has gotten a bum rap, as if she was sentenced to life imprisonment by the court of public opinion for a crime she didn't commit. It was the unfortunate legacy of breaking up the Beatles. 6. Julie Andrews. Reflect on Julie Andrews' enduring grace and talent at 88. Julie Andrews is an English actress, singer, and author. She has garnered numerous accolades throughout her career spanning over 8 decades. The most tragic events of Julie Andrews' young life happened when she was just 15 years old, when her stepfather, Ted Andrews, inappropriate sexual advances toward his teenage stepdaughter while he was drunk. This is not the first time Ted Andrews tried to molest his stepdaughter. Julie Andrews was only 9. He purportedly invited her into bed with him on a cold evening while her mother was away, according to the Daily Mail. Julie Andrews' mother and stepfather were alcoholics and abusive toward her and toward one another. At the age of 14, she was brought by her mother to a social engagement where the young singer was introduced to a man whom she told was her biological father. The man was not Edward Wells, the man her mother divorced when Julie was 7. Andrews said all this combined with her own mother's later issues with mental health and depression, Andrews afraid that she too might suffer a breakdown. Wrote in her book that at the age of 14, I began to hear voices in my head at night, crazy chatter, and I worried that I might go mad. 5. Englebert Humperdink. Embrace Englebert Humperdink's heartfelt music at 88. Englebert Humperdink is a British pop singer who's been described as one of the finest middle-of-the-road balladeers around. Achieved international prominence in 1967 with his recording of Release Me. Englebert Humperdink spoke about the death of his wife Patricia, sadly passed away after contracting COVID-19 and had also battled Alzheimer's disease for a decade. Englebert said, "I don't know how it's going to affect me. I have no idea. It's affected me pretty badly so far." 4. Shirley Bassey. Honor Shirley Bassey's legendary voice at 87. Shirley Bassey is a Welsh singer. For her career longevity, powerful voice, and recording the theme songs to 3 James Bond films, only artist to perform more than one, Bassey is one of the most popular vocalists in Britain. Shirley Bassey has revealed she was so grief-stricken by the death of her daughter 30 years ago, she was unable to sing for 6 months. Police concluded that Samantha just fell in, but Dame Shirley has always maintained her daughter's death was not accidental. 3. Tom Jones. Feel the passion in Tom Jones' performances at 84. Thomas Jones is a Welsh singer. His career began with a string of top 10 hits in the 1960s, since toured regularly with appearances in Las Vegas from 1967 to 2011. Superstar canceled concerts and feared he could not carry on after Linda, 75, his partner of 59 years, died of cancer in April. Sir Tom, also 75, said, "I didn't know whether I'd be able to sing again or not. It was devastating. I've got back on the stage. That first step was a big one. Now I realize music is saving my life. It's even more important to me than before. I'm reading more into lyrics of songs now. The busier I am, the better I feel. Voice is definitely part of that." Sir Tom was axed as a coach by the BBC for the show's 2016 series after 4 years. He said he had no idea why. 2. Bill Wyman. Celebrate Bill Wyman's rock and roll journey at 87. Bill Wyman is an English musician who was the bass guitarist with the rock band The Rolling Stones from 1962 to 1993. Since 1997, he has performed as the vocalist and bass guitarist for Bill Wyman's Rhythm Kings. Wyman, although moderate in his use of alcohol and drugs, has stated that he became girl-mad, psychological crutch. Wyman married his first wife, Diane Corey, in 1959. Son, Stephen Paul Wyman, was born on March 29, 1962. They separated in 1967, divorced in 1969. In March 2016, Wyman was diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1. Petula Clark.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go.
Marvel at Petula Clark's enduring talent at 91. Petula Clark is a British singer, actress, and songwriter. Started her professional career as a child performer and has had the longest career of any British entertainer, spanning more than 85 years. She's hard on herself, worrying she wasn't as good a mother as she would have liked to have been, or as good a wife. She and their father, dashing Frenchman Claude Wolfe, went their separate ways more than 20 years ago, even though they've never divorced and remain friends. Tried hard to be the perfect mother, the perfect wife, and a great performer. Thought I could do it all, but it can't be done. Sorry, but it just can't. Had a good stab at it, but being a parent and married is a full-time job. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing content. Hey, if you're curious about more stories in music history, check out these videos right here. You won't want to miss them. See you in the next video.